Turning to West Africa, campaigning is in high gear in Mali for Sunday's presidential election that is meant to unite the nation following a coup and an Islamist uprising. From Mali's leafy southern riverside towns to the northern desert, presidential candidates promise voters a stronger army, an end to graft and poverty, and the reconciliation of a divided nation. Their posters and photographs adorned the streets as they dole out T-shirts at rallies and houses, from minibuses and under mango trees emblazoned with posters ahead of the July 28th poll. Among the challenges Mali faces is how to ensure that millions of voting cards are dispatched across a vast territory twice the size of France. Hundreds of thousands of people have been displaced by the conflict, and many more are still missing from outdated voter lists. Siaka Sangari is the head of the electoral body in Mali.
There is no perfect voter list, not even in the most developed countries. We cannot have a voter list without some problems, some difficulties, some deficiencies. It's true, the biometric voter list we have for 2013 has some limits. I call them limits, not deficiencies.
Mr. Modibo Sidibe is one of the presidential candidates.
Of course they are concerned. I have just picked up my voter card. What I found out here is that there has been a relatively high percentage of cards picked up, something that bodes well for the high level of voter participation.
For some voters, a visit to the voter registration office has turned into a very unpleasant surprise.
I did the registration in 2009. I have my receipt, but I came here today and my card isn't here. My name isn't on the list. I am also frustrated because I have a candidate that I want to vote for. I went to the election agent to double check, but I couldn't find my photo in the computer.
The government, under pressure from Paris, insists pressing ahead with a vote is the only way to kickstart a recovery. All 28 candidates promise to revamp the army, fix the broken education, and revise mining contracts in one of Africa's top gold producers. Well, for more perspective, I'm joined by Ms. Coumba Makalou, the Director of Communications at the Coalition for Democracy Education in Mali. Welcome to Africa 54, Ms. Makalou.
Oh, thank you.
Now, from what you know, from what you understand is going on in Mali, is the country ready for an election on Sunday?
I think that there are some challenges right now for the country to have elections on Sunday in terms of the voter cards being ready. I feel perhaps it could go well if certain cards and registration processes are well handled before then, but yet there might still be some
What is this
issues.
about the cards? Are there millions of them to be transported to different parts of this country? What happened that they're not yet done up to now?
Well, we have about 9 million cards, and only 6 or 7 million have been distributed. So that leaves a discrepancy for about 2 million cards.
Yeah.
Now, so what is happening with these cards? And that's the main issue, and how will they be used if they're not accounted?
The enduring images people have had for the last few months of the country is the fighting,
Yes.
particularly in the northern part of the country. Now, security-wise, how intact is the country? How secure is it for it to be able to conduct a credible election?
Okay, well, for now, it's been pretty well secured. We've had the French troops. We have the UN mission, which started also on July 1st. And they've pretty much secured the northern parts of Mali in terms of having access to voter polls. And so security should not be an issue at this point. It should be under control.
All the candidates are saying they want to fix the army, fix the economy, and change some things about contracts to do with, in relation to mining.
Right.
Was this damage caused by the last year's coup and the uprising, or these are problems that Mali has been grappling with anyway?
Well, Mali has had a few problems in terms of corruption mainly. Many candidates and presidents before have had large plans for economic, prosperity, for development and so forth, but none of them have really stepped up to the plate and achieved their goals. And what has always happened has been a question of corruption. Where have the funds gone? how come these projects have not been achieved, and how come there have been so many politicians who have become so wealthy during the terms that they've served in office.
France has been featuring very prominently. It has helped secure the country from the Islamists. How significant is France, the former colonial ruler, to the future of France now, of Mali?
Of Mali. I think it's very significant. I think if it were not for France, Mali might be under Sharia law right now. It has not been a secret, the trouble we've gone through with extremists and militants, and France really were the superpower who came to our rescue. And they've established that they have ties with us from colonial times, and they still have ties with us. And
Very, very quickly, the U.S.
Yes.
Has it played any role in stabilizing the country?
I would have to say, disappointingly, not much of a role. They did supply drones to aid the French military, but that was not really enough. That would not have saved us from being taken over. So
Feel like you need
we'd
a
love to
little
see a bigger role from the U.S.
Well, thank you. We wish you a very safe, credible
Thank you
election
very
come
much.
Sunday.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. That's Ms. Makalou. Coumba Makalou is the Director of Communications at the Coalition for Democracy Education in Mali. Thank you very much. Now, we want to know what you think about Africa 54 and the stories we cover. Join the conversation on Facebook. The address is Africa 54, and check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com.